What we're about to see here is a Board of Commissioners meeting in San Francisco, California. You'll notice that the Board of Commissioners has already made up their mind to approve a $5 million starter loan to get this rehab project underway.
A lot of the projects that we work on. I would say that you're right. This is mostly a matter of adjusting the pace of development, though, rather than whether or not it will occur. And the balancing act, frankly, that we are trying to strike is, on the one hand, to be realistic, to be conservative, to plan well, but also to be ambitious enough to maintain and keep momentum, not only in terms of the project area work, but also in terms of kind of following up on the mayor's commitment to really be aggressive about moving forward publicly financed projects that have entitlements that are ready to go, so that we don't basically inadvertently create more of a problem in terms of the economic situation by being too conservative. And so that's really what we're trying to do.
In this next clip, you'll see staff representatives from Related Construction pleading with the Board of Commissioners for this $5 million in order to get this project started. They don't want to spend any of their money. They want to make sure they're spending your money.
And the process of bringing projects to the commission, the money that we're requesting in front of the commission is the money that we have in hand. And again, the question for us is not whether these projects will ultimately be built. It's just a question of the pace in which they will be built. They're generally projects, in our pipeline.
Now what you're going to hear from this lady who's from the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency is a lot of omissions. The fact that since August of 2005, King Garvey has passed all inspections. All of their units are clean, safe, and sanitary. She'll fail to explain how they're going to pay a 45-year mortgage with only a 20-year guarantee of rent increases from HUD. And also listen very carefully to the end of the testimony, rebuttal testimony, from shareholders, ex-board members, and even the ex-board of directors president, Carlos Lefessier.
Mr. Blackwell, good evening, President Romero, members of the Commission, and members of the public. The item before you is a request to authorize a $5 million permanent loan to the Martin Luther King Marcus Garvey Square Cooperative Apartments to finance expenses associated with the rehabilitation of this below market rate 211 unit development located in the former Western Addition redevelopment project area. The loan will be repaid out of residual receipt funds as they become available over time, and provides for a 45-year affordability term pursuant to the California redevelopment law. On January 3rd, 2005, HUD issued its notice of intent to place the project in default due to a history of health and safety violations under the Housing Assistance Plan, or the HAP contract, and its use agreement with HUD. Various city departments and agencies, including Mayor Newsom, Supervisor Mirkarimi, and Congresswoman Pelosi's office, came together to work with the Board of Directors to find a remedy that allows them to preserve the housing as a cooperative and to cover the cost of the debt the project will need to assume to pay for the rehabilitation of the project to provide for the repairs to satisfy HUD's concerns and improve the quality of life for its residents. This was followed by a major stride on November 9th, 2007, when a majority of shareholders voted to proceed with a development agreement with Related Company of California as their development partner, who was selected through a competitive request for proposal process in September 2005. The requested agency funds would be used upon the close of construction to finance principally the early expenses associated with the commercial lenders' financing costs, legal fees, and project costs that would be generated by the architectural, engineering, and professional team. HUD has provided King Garvey with a markup to budget approval, markup to budget rent increase to update the project-based Section 8s pursuant to a 20-year HAP contract. These funds were approved on November 2008 and will be used to support the new debt that will be required to cover the cost of rehabilitating the project.
This is Carmen Johnson, Vice President of the King Garvey Board of Directors. She's illegally been seated as Vice President. She's been a long-time advocate of putting these people in more debt and a sore spot in terms of internal harmony at King Garvey. She's been a source of tremendous disruption amongst the people that live there.
Members who are present: Marva Brooks, Evelyn Joplin, and who else? And Ms. A. Landry. Those are our board members, and Mr. Carlos Levexier. These are our board members that are present on today. And we also have with us our legal counsel, who is Mr. R. Williams. Thank you. We would like to thank you for having this opportunity to request a pre-development loan not to exceed $5 million. As you know, King Garvey was one of the first rentals that was developed here in the Western Addition as a result of us going into default, foreclosing, because there wasn't enough money allocated when it was developed for the project to operate.